And we are back, and it is time for nerding out. And this is, of course, where myself, and Beatmaster bring you one thing. We sometimes break that rule. Two that we've been nerding out with over the past week, and this because when I was doing the show notes earlier, I was like, "What am I gonna do? What did I do?" And I'm like, "Wait, I still have comics that I could be talking about, that I could be reading right now." And so I read just before, well, not just, but a good hour and a half before showtime, Unworthy Thor #1. And this is from Marvel Comics. This is Jason Aaron writing it, who's writing the Mighty Thor book and wrote the Thor God of Thunder book. And I think since 2009, I think he said is when he came on, with the Thor God of Thunder #1. And this is actually an interesting book because this is Odinson, so the original Thor, who goes by the name Odinson because the girl Thor, the woman Thor, Jane Foster's Thor, is the Thor because she's worthy enough to wield Mjolnir. Well, he hasn't gotten over his ex yet, or his hammer in this case, because he still has his axe. And he is trying to drink away the pain throughout the first bit of this comic. He then hears word from a celestial being that there is another Mjolnir in here that he could get to. Basically, this book is combining some events that happened in Original Sin, Thor not being worthy of wielding the hammer, some events from Secret Wars, the Thor from the Ultimate Universe dying, and combining it into one, and it's working so far. I mean, I've enjoyed Jason Aaron's work as the writer of Thor, and the art, the art by Oliver Copel is actually really good. Too, I want to say he did the work on Thor, God of Thunder, as well. But I mean, it's great storytelling, great writing, all told through. It's all told through Odinson's point of view, and this is a sheer setup issue, but it's super quick. I mean, it's a super quick read, like, because there is still action in the book. Like you see Odinson fight trolls, and he's like, "There's one thing I could still do, and that's fight a troll." It is great. I enjoyed the book, and I think you guys will too. So Beat, you want to talk Westworld, right?
Yes, for a particular reason, because last episode was one that was decisive for many people, and either you with it or you were going out of it. And it's not for quality reasons exactly, it's for pacing and being along for the ride and not feeling like the show sometimes is not as smart as it thinks it is. You can see things coming way ahead, but it's just more how it evolves. And when you're like most HBO shows, you want something more than just the plain story. You get also the scenery, you got the actors that are doing their best to bring the characters to life. And if it weren't for Anthony Hopkins and Ed Harris, it would be a tough watch, but they transcendent in their roles, and you can latch on to their separate stories and ignore a part of the others, because when you didn't see the show yet, Gregor, I assume.
No, I am excuse me, I am 3 episodes behind. Sort of just taking my sweet time with it. Partially because of the fact of there's so much on TV.
Hell yeah.
And of the fact that uh, I could catch up on this. I can catch up on this a little bit later. When we get like we're starting to get the breaks for TV shows, like the NBC comedies of The Good Place and Superstore have already ended their first half of the season. So those are two shows I don't have to worry about. The CBS shows I think will be coming up pretty soon, except for actually I don't know about that, but it's one of these that as we get into December, they usually slow down to let us catch our breath, binge on other shows, Black Mirror, that we need to watch, Black Mirror, and um, and yeah, just be able to stop, smell the roses a little bit. Um, I just realized I could have talked about the first two episodes of Black Mirror. Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I can
No, it's
chime in. So,
no.
it,
I'm gonna no. That's I'll save that for next week. I'll try to watch more by next week.
but
We can talk that
having
with Sean.
somebody else referencing what I mean, that you have really spectacular visuals, great acting, everything a good show needs. But if your headspace isn't right, or then you say it's too demanding for what it really provides, and you can say it's up its own ass, but sometimes that's can also be something worth watching. And they already had now the go ahead for the second season,
Mm-hmm.
so HBO believes in it. But I would be interested in see how much people dropped off after the seventh episode, the last one that was currently on.
Mm-hmm.
And the big reveal wasn't such a big one, and it's more about what the implications are and where that all leads to. But I wanted to tell you, if you're thinking about going in or not, if you're off put by the Western aspect of it, don't be fooled. You can ignore that. It's science fiction. And
Yeah.
if you're looking for something heavier and can't wait for the Expanse or other things to come on again, so go ahead and dive in. That's my recommendation.
No. Yeah. Exactly. Um. So yeah, that is it. I think for nerding out. Because the only other thing I gotta say about that is I'm gonna definitely try to catch up on Westworld. I mean, it's just one of those that fell back on the order of importances for me. But yeah, so that is it for nerding out.